So guten Tag, wie geht's? How are you guys? कैसे हैं आप सब? This is Atul Bharti and I'm an Indian student currently living in Germany right now, Berlin, Germany. And I make videos about my life and how I am navigating my life here in Germany. Be it's like finding an accommodation, finding a student job, learning about the language, for example, German language and all those things. And try to help people and specifically students who are planning to shift from India to Germany. And this video is specifically in continuation with that. So this video is the extension or part two of the part one video which is getting played right now in my laptop, where I was explaining that what did I change in my job application process that landed me one specific student job here in Berlin, Germany, specifically not having the language and all those things. And that specific change was about using Claude. When I say using Claude, it's not about only writing some general prompts, but specifically related to how to evaluate the job description and how to evaluate your profile. Where does your profile sits? So in the part one video, I randomly took a job description and evaluated that specifically related to keyword and then different ratings based on the job description. For example, I picked some keywords, and on those keywords I try to evaluate it that where my profile actually lands and gives a rating, and also ask Claude that whether you would call me for an interview for that specific job requirement or not, and what are the pros and cons list. So it requires a detailed prompt. Okay, and where in the video I showed that how I write a prompt, how I evaluated and all those. So if you look at the video, based on that video, the Claude was actually saying that this job description is might not be relevant for you, and um, based on the job description, they will not call me for an interview and I might be rejected immediately after applying. So that was the whole process, and I could not go on further for creating my job CV or tailoring my CV based on the job description. So what in this video, what I will try to do is I'll try intentionally try to find one job description which is closely related or like somewhat related to my profile, and see that what Claude actually says. And then based on the Claude's responses, I will try to tailor my CV and show you guys that how do I do it. It's not just seeing some random job description and sending your master CV or the main CV. You need to tailor your CV accordingly to the requirements or the requirements that the job descriptions has mentioned. And how do you find those requirements? You will not only look at the listed points of requirements, but also try to dive in or dig in the keywords that specifically mentioned. Sometimes all those keywords are clearly visible, like multiple uses of those keywords, but sometimes you'll have to find it. And I do not have that much of time investing job description in detail. So what I try to do is I try to take the help of Claude. So with this experience, I have made my Claude not my companion but my assistant actually. So in this video, let's go and shift to the laptop immediately. I'll try to find a relevant job description and try to analyze and see that whether I am eligible or not, and based on that I'll tailor my CV. Hope you guys are able to see this. So I found this research assistant job from a random post in LinkedIn, and this research assistant job is somewhat related to what my profile is. My profile is mostly about social sciences research and all. This is a complete independent research consultancy position, fully remote with no location restrictions and all. This is a fully remote option. And what are the specific tasks? Literature review, policy analysis, evidence summaries, and all those things, drafting, contributing, and some quantitative and qualitative research. So let's just copy this. What I generally do is let's just copy and go into, this is how I will write prompt or making that incident. Let's see. Desk research, literature review, policy analysis, summaries, citations, and all those things. Core task, desk research, literature review. These are the keywords. Oh, sorry. These are the keywords. And then core task, literature review, policy analysis, evidence summaries, stakeholder notes, meeting, prepare personal skill by skill rating. This is actually important. Desk research and literature review, strong. 50 plus sources at JPAL Drew's lab. Drew is my professor that I was working previously with them. 9 out of 10. Citation management, evidence summary. Zotero. So I have worked on Zotero for once in my lifetime, but I don't know how Claude gives me a very strong response that you have definitely worked in Zotero. So obviously, so that's why I believe in Claude, but not 100%. I always cross check. So I would rate myself 7 or something. Stakeholder management, notes, meeting and all. Moderate, JPAL governance. So I previously in India, back in India, I used to work at JPAL. So JPAL's government coordination, though not note taking specific. Yeah, 6 or 7. Personal writing review, limited direct experience. I would rate myself here 6 because it's not limited. That I have a very good writing experience. It's just that I have not mentioned at JPAL. Quantitative data analysis, R, Stata, Python, JPAL, R, amazing Stata, amazing Python. I'm still learning, so I would rate myself 8 out of 10. Qualitative 6 out of 10. This is perfect. FCT interviews and all, but not very much with all the qualitative softwares that we do. Drafting, proofreading, policy memos, 8 out of 10. Amazing. Dissemination materials, I don't know. Dex, briefs, moderate. Yeah, true. Fact checking QA 6 also. Climate resilience 3. I have no, that's true. I have no direct experience in climate and sexual reproductive 2. So overall rating 6.5. Okay, 6.5 still good. I would rate around myself 6.7 because it has JPAL, Claude has missed some points here. Overall, your methodological fit is generally strong, literature review, citations, and all those things. And as I would I call honest note, I couldn't find public data. It could not find my reasoning hypothetical. Yes. Okay, this was what we had done in our part one video. Okay, so let's create. Okay, pros and cons. Fully remote, flexible, no location region, cons, no direct background is SHR. Worth applying. This we also had done in the previous part one video, but because that role was specifically not related to my profile, so that's why we could not go further. Since it is related and Claude is hypothetically sensitive needs, so let's go. So my next prompt will be, it will take around some time to create this cover list CV. So what I have done that I have already entered or given the Claude my master CV, and I have evaluated my master CV, and with Claude and all the suggestions that I have gotten from so many people, I have created a very good master CV. And whenever I apply to some of the jobs, I do not actually say share them my master CV. I tailor based on that, based on specific keywords or the requirements or the task that the job Claude has able to identify. What are my major points, my weaknesses? I try to hide my weaknesses and all say in these things because not to mention specifically or mention in the later part of the CV. And that's how I create. So this is the job cover letter that has created. And so it took a little time to create the CV, and I had created a CV twice, and now it has created a CV, and that's the where you create a difference in terms of applications because based on the discussions, the Claude has generated a CV which is very less of my things. So it has completely removed my experience with sustainable insights, confoundation, IFML, and ML Flask, toxicity classifier, data fest awards. All these things are like too much in terms of my experience, but we can still add them, not with a detailed response or detailed comments. We can generally add it. So what I'll do is I'll write a prompt like the CV is very edits I want. Let's see. I know the video is getting kind of a bit long, but I would highly recommend you to stay till here because it's very, very, very important. I'll try to shorten up or make it to part 3 or something. JPL South Asia Data Science Lab, Hertie School, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, University of Delhi, Data Science Lab Education. Yeah, it looks good, but it's still very small. So what I'll do, I will just do it myself. So what I'll do, do not usually download it. I have connected my Claude with my drive. So I put the here and then do some normal edits like font Times New Roman. It should go 12, not 12 is very big, 9. Yeah. And then I will use justified. And for this, I will use this. And the name should be bigger, 10. Yeah. And then there should be some specific gaps. Okay. And then I'll do some more edits like this, and then I'll do some justification about like in terms of margin scaling and all those things. I generally do it manually. I do not depend on Claude because sometimes Claude really like sucks it up and all. So yeah, this is how I do it. Hopefully you might have find it helpful. And I am going to apply for this. Okay, wait. Let's see the cover later what they have created, what the Claude has created. Willing to apply systematic desk research at JPL. I conducted systematic literature reviews over 50 plus academic sources. That is relevant, correct. And the job description has asked combined quantitative analysis, panel data, my experience, regression, my experience, impact estimation. I was also authored policy, not authored, it should be co-authored. That's how you create a difference because even after Claude has made everything, created everything for you, manual check is specifically required, especially when you are writing things. I'm also authored policy member and coordinated stakeholder engagement and everything. Zotero, I have worked on Zotero only once and twice, so I would consider as removing it. What draws this specific intersection? My research has constantly focused on how structural conditions, poverty, exclusion, and shape the policy. This is good. This is relevant. This is related. This paragraph, but this feels really generic. So what I'll do, because even if I add multiple prompts, Claude or any kind of AI is going to generate this only. So what I do, I'll go to Drive and edit it myself. Maybe rephrase this, or maybe rephrase this, add something specific, some points which are specific to your experience, which could create a difference. So that's how about it. So initially, what I had said that not completely dependent on Claude, but make a Claude your assistant. So yeah, that's how we do it because we can make Claude assistants in terms of generating documents, relevant finding, doing some research specific to job description and all. But it should not be limited to that only. You still have to do manual checks, manual research, and manual and understanding should be there so that you could add or delete, and that's how create a difference, not making all the documents very generic, but difference or specific to what you have done and you are doing, because Claude and AI ultimately generates very, I would say, generic text and all, even if you put so much um, prompts and all. So use prompts strategically with so much intelligence, but do not depend on completely. Use your mind and use your manual additions or updates also. I think that's it for now. Let's not make the video too long, and I hope you would find my contact amazing. Just drop me a question if you want to personally connect to me or find my LinkedIn and all. You should go to my Instagram and connect me there, and we'll connect. I'm a data science for public policy students. This is my second master's. I've already done my master's back in India, and I was working for like 4 years at different research organizations. And I thought that let's move on to a different country because why not? Yeah. This is Atul Bharti signing off. Bye bye.